wet on dry. Wet the brush, pick a color, and paint. This is wet on dry. The second watercolor technique is wet on wet. You wet the paper, then wet the brush, and paint on the wet part of the paper. This technique makes the painting look a little blurry. The third watercolor technique is splattering. You wet the brush, you pick a color, and by pulling on the end of the brush, you splatter it across the page. This is splattering. The fourth watercolor technique is dry brush. You dry the brush, you pick a color, and paint on the dry surface of the paper. This is dry brush. The fifth watercolor technique is blotting. You wet the brush, you pick a color, and paint. Then, with a tissue or paper, blot the painting while it's still wet. This technique is called blotting. The sixth watercolor technique is scratching. You take the end of the brush, dip it in paint, and scratch out your painting on the paper. This is scratching.